Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I forgot to film an intro for this video. So this video is about trying some new Bobbi Brown products such as their new Skin Longwear Foundation. I have it in the shade medium 4.5. I also got the new Bobbi Brown highlighters. So if you want to see my thoughts and reviews on them, then stay tuned. I have it in the shade Warm Natural 4.5. It has SPF 15 and it says it's a full coverage and oil-free shine control finish. So I cheated. It's not my first time using this foundation. This is going to be the second time. But the first time I wore it, I really did like it. I just didn't film it because this week has been like hectic for me. For like 3 days, I had the worst back pain ever. I don't know how. Apparently, I don't know how to sleep. Like, I just woke up in the morning with really bad back pain, so I went to get an adjustment by a chiropractor, and the first day it felt good right after, but the next morning I still had a lot of pain when I woke up. So then I went back for another adjustment and then it's completely gone. I feel like I'm getting old. Things are starting to break down. And now I don't have insurance anymore. I used to be covered under my dad's insurance, but the insurance stops when either you reach 25 or when you finish school. So I finished school, no longer covered. And they're smart. They know what they're doing because once you finish school, that's when things start to break down. You get to that age, you know what I mean? I didn't have no back problems when I was like 22, 21. This is the first time I've had back problems, mind you. But I'm pretty sure it was just because I slept funny. And then I had like my 8-year-old brother walk on my back. And my brother's not a skinny one. He's like a chunky little boy. So he's pretty heavy. And I made him walk on my back to try to like fix it. And I think that just like irritated it way worse, and my joints became really inflamed, so I had to go to the chiro. Okay, enough chit chat. So I primed my face with the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. I've been loving this, and I'm just going to take 2 pumps. I've used it before, and 2 pumps covers my whole face, so I just dot it all over. Since I've worn it before, I will say that it is a really nice color match for me. And I like the way it wears throughout the day and how it makes the skin look. The only thing that I don't love about it is that it does feel a little bit heavier. Like it's kind of more on the tacky or like a thick moisturizer side, where I like my foundations to be more like watery. I'm not really into like a super thick foundation, but it kind of reminds me of my Clinique Beyond Perfecting foundation, where it's a little bit of a thicker consistency and it can be a little tacky, which isn't my favorite thing, but the way it looks on the skin and the way it wears makes it completely worth it. So I'm just going to blend it out with my beauty blender. Like when I blend it out, you know, certain foundations, they just feel like you're blending out water on your skin. This one, it feels like a foundation. Like I can feel that my beauty blender feels like tacky when I'm like bouncing it on my skin. Even though it doesn't look heavy at all. Like it's called like Naked Skin, what is it called? Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation. I don't know about weightless. Like I said, you do feel like you are putting on something of a thicker, heavier consistency. So that is one layer. It's a pretty thin layer. Like you can still see that my breakouts are still kind of showing underneath. Yeah, like when you touch it, you can feel that it's tacky. And for me, that's the only con of this foundation. Like it wore beautifully on my oily skin. And it looks really nice. It doesn't like enhance texture or pores or anything like that. It just looks very skin-like. So I wouldn't say it's a full coverage right off the bat. I'm sure it's buildable. Let's try to build it. I'm not completely a full coverage girl like I know some people are. I love all kinds of foundations. Sheer coverage, full coverage. I'm into it. So I'm just trying to build it up on my cheeks a bit. So yeah, even though I built up the foundation in my cheek area where I have a few little breakouts, you can still see them. So I don't know about how buildable it is. Maybe I didn't put on enough, but like I'm just gonna leave it. I'm okay with that. Okay, going in with my concealer, I'm using my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. It's been like my go-to. It looks like I'm putting on a lot, but I assure you, it's not a lot. It's a really thin layer. I don't even twist it up. I just use whatever is like on the little sponge applicator, and that'll last me for like 3 days, I swear. That sounds really gross, like using the same concealer that's just like sitting in the sponge, but that's what I do. And I use it to prime my eyes, and I don't even like turn it up that often. Maybe mine's broken and like stuff just like leaks out of it. Ew, also sounds gross. So the real test will be seeing how this concealer blends on top of it. It blends out really nice on top. And I'm just going to set my eyes really quick, just with my Too Faced Born This Way powder. Keeping it right underneath the eyes, because I'm going to go in with some cream contour for us to test this out. I haven't used my Fenty Beauty matchsticks for like 2 weeks now, so it's about time I bust this guy out again, and it'll be good to see how the cream products blend on top, because like I said, it does have like a thicker, tacky consistency. So put some on here. I just drew the most crooked line down my nose. Just try to pat that away. And I'm going to use the usual kabuki brush that I always use for blending out this cream contour. I'm getting all these little hairs. I think my brushes are shedding. All these little hairs that are getting like stuck in the foundation. And because it's like a tacky foundation, it's like embedded with the foundation. Like I gotta actually scratch it off. Okay, I'm just gonna really lightly pat. I'm not gonna rub, I'm just gonna stipple on this side to see how it blends, if it's easy. So yeah, on this side it blended out a lot more smoothly than on this side because I was rubbing. And I typically don't even use like rubbing motions when I'm blending out cream contour on my cheeks, just because I feel like it moves the foundation underneath. So it looks a little bit patchy on this side where I put the cream contour. But I think it's my fault because I was rubbing it, and I know that on my skin type it doesn't work well for me when I just try to like rub in cream contour over top of foundation. Now I'm just going to set the rest of my face as I normally would with my translucent powder. And even though I have oily skin, I don't bake, and I know it's supposed to be great if you have oily skin. Like this to me is not baking. I'm just dispersing the product and then I'll like tap it in. I know like a lot of people do it and it photographs beautifully, but for me, I get paranoid that if I bake, then I'll get like serious flashback. So like for events or stuff, I try to use like minimal amount of translucent powder. Okay, so just as a test, I'm going to try to apply my blush straight onto the foundation without like going over it with translucent powder or like a setting powder, just to see if it's patchy. Going in with the blush. It looks okay, but I also use a light hand and I just use like patting motions instead of rubbing, so it's fine. Okay, so now I also got the new Bobbi Brown highlighter. This is in Moon Glow. It's like a really pretty like light gold champagne-y color. And lately I've been bringing my highlighter down onto like the apples of my cheeks. Like I'll smile and like that highest point, then I'll just sweep some on there. That way you can see the highlight even like from the front like this. You don't have to always turn to the side. But yes, I'm loving this highlight. It's pretty. It reminds me of like a lot of the highlighters that I already own, I'm not gonna lie. This does remind me of my Fenty Beauty like Mean Money Hustler Baby highlighter, but I swatched them back to back, and the Fenty Beauty one is more golden. This one is more on the champagne side, although it is golden. Really good pigment, blends out nice and easy. I'm just gonna take some on my finger to highlight the nose. My skin is so like crusty right now, like I could even feel it when I'm like touching my nose. Even though I did 2 masks this weekend, I was drinking, and on the days that I drink a lot, the next day my skin's really dehydrated, so goes to show you, no matter how many masks and moisturizers you put on your skin, you gotta like have a clean diet. But yeah, it is a beautiful foundation. I really do enjoy it, and it wears really well throughout the day. I'm not like super shiny or slick by the end of the day. I can get away with just oil blotting maybe twice a day. And I'm not gonna do a wear test or anything because I've already worn it before, and I can tell you that it does last 8 to 10 hours. Looking pretty good still. I just have to oil blot. I would recommend this foundation for oily to normal skin types. Even I think dry skin you could wear it, because if you have any dry patches, this doesn't emphasize the texture too much. The fact that it's like more of like a tacky consistency, I think that dry skin types will be able to wear it. You don't have to set it afterwards. But for oily skin types, I do recommend setting it because it stays pretty tacky. Like even now on the areas that I didn't put any blush or any powder products. And that is it for my foundation review. I hope you guys found it useful. Let me know if you guys end up trying it and what your thoughts are on it. And I will see you in my next video.